So welcome everyone. Welcome to Morning Mindset. We are here and it is all the days running. I was going to say Tuesday and then I thought, wait, no. It's a Monday. Happy Monday morning to everybody. Yesterday we started unpacking our topic on the big VA why. Why do we become virtual assistants? And I decided this week on the run up to the One Sourcing launch that I would share with you a little bit of my perspective in terms of why I became a virtual assistant. And if you would like to join the launch, I'll just put the link in the chat. virtualmissfriday.com/one sourcing. So it's all coming together on basically on the 16th. I will be releasing a brand new free training. It's a masterclass on the 24 steps to a six-figure virtual assistant business. And as we release that, we'll also be doing a very, very special offer on the brand new One Sourcing, which is also, we're going to start the release of that. So at 7 p.m. my time, which I think in England now it's 5, at 7 p.m. my time, I will be doing a live session inside the venue of the virtual co-working space, and you'll all get a link if you're on the wait list. And we'll just kind of be going through about creating a six-figure virtual assistant business, but I'll also be taking you through the new structure of the One Sourcing training, because everybody who already has invested in the One Sourcing training, I'm true to my promise. You will all get your updates completely free of charge. So if you're already on One Sourcing, all of the updates will be coming through for you completely free of charge. There will be something that we send you that you probably have to because everyone's on different kind of things, so we need to make sure you get in the right replacement. So there might be a little step that you have to take in order to get your account transferred over, but once you get back to us on that, everything will be fine. But either way, if you've got One Sourcing, then you'll get the updates free of charge. Thank you, Martha. Martha's looking forward to it. Okay, so that's what's happening this week, and then the release. So we're doing the free interim training. Everyone's got a chance to join on the new One Sourcing. It's a little bit more structured this time, so I'll be doing a lot of guidance sessions week by week. So if somebody wants to just kind of really crash course themselves, really focus, really take it in sequence, really kind of go all in on the details, this is the perfect time to do it as we release it on the schedule. And every week there will also be a One Sourcing call inside the virtual co-working space here in the networking room, not in the morning mindset room, the networking room, where I will be available just every week to help people progress forward, help answer questions, anything like that. So it's going to be really amazing and I'm super excited about it. So in the run-up, I decided that we would talk about the VA why. This is kind of a feel-good topic. It's definitely a feel-good topic for me because everyone has their own reasons for going into virtual assistance. And I talked yesterday about me leaving the UK and using it as a form of working from anywhere and being able to travel. And that was a huge one for me. That will always be the first one. But then there is a second one, and the second one was after I found out I got pregnant, the sheer gratitude of becoming pregnant, because first of all I was told I couldn't have kids, and here I am 5 later. But yeah, so that's a whole other story. But when I did become pregnant, as you can imagine, it was fairly shocking because I wasn't in a relationship at the time and I didn't think I could have kids, so it was all very up in the air. And at the time, I'd also left the UK and I was living abroad, so there was really a lot to consider at that time. And it was then I'd been dabbling in my virtual assistant business. I'd been putting it together, tinkering around with the website, putting together some services I was going to offer. I did a couple of beta testing things with some friends, and I asked people if they knew someone that I could kind of like get experience with and test my stuff out on. And I was pretty much at that stage. And then suddenly, the moment I realized I was pregnant, and obviously I'm going to go through with this, it then just made me step up my whole game, because not only did I not want to go back to the UK, I couldn't see any way other than really stepping things up and leveling up in my virtual assistant business in order to allow me to still generate an income and look after this little soul that I'm about to bring into the world. So I can honestly say the second big why for me has been, and always consistently has been, because my eldest is 16 now. This was 16 years ago I had him, and my youngest now is 1. So the fact that I can be available to my kids and not have to part myself from them in order to go out to work and to go out to a 9 to 5 job was really super huge for me. So throughout all of my 5 kids, because of my virtual assistant business, I have been able to stay at home, work the hours that I want to work. I mean, that's a whole other ball game, but just simply having that choice of, I'm going to raise my children, like I'm going to be home for my children. I've had friends in the UK who have literally had babies, and 3 months later they've had to separate themselves from the baby because they had no choice but to go back to work, because you need to earn a living. This is just, like, not everyone has that luxury of just being able to stay at home and not have to work. And for me, I think, I mean, I don't know because I never had to do it, but I always imagined that the driving force of me was to not have to go out to work. Like, I always imagined how difficult that would be as a mother. I mean, if you are somebody that has got kids and did have to leave your kids to go back to work, or your babies to go back to work, and that was something that you really struggled with, I absolutely can relate to how that must have felt. And I thank God every day that I never had to do it myself. And I have so much gratitude, because when they're so small and they're so tiny and they're so dependent, particularly, it's really hard to imagine not being there for them. And so really my hat goes off to all of you working mums who are doing that, who are juggling between the outside world work and the babies and the kids and things like that. And I know it does get a little bit easier once, playgroup starts being involved and school starts being involved, and you get that kind of little bit of like that moment where you do start to separate from your children. But to be able to not have to do that at a really young age, I think is golden. So I would say to anybody who's thinking about going into a virtual assistant business, whether you have kids or you don't have kids, start now, because as soon as you get to the point, where you do want to have children, at least you would have come a little bit of a ways down the line, because it's much easier, obviously, to build up the business and to start growing the business before you have the kids, as opposed to pretty much doing what I did. And I really stepped things up while I was pregnant and, right directly after having the baby. So I was working quite a bit during that time, simply to sustain myself and to stay afloat and to keep everyone fed and a roof over our head and things like that. And I did think at the time, I wish I took my business more seriously had I have known that I was going to get pregnant and have a child. But throughout that, it's been wonderful, because obviously then I went on to have 4 more children, which I've been able to have without that stress of needing to think about going out to work. I've, without the stress of a boss hanging over me, you know, like telling me when I have to work and what I have to do and things like that, that would have brought me a lot of anxiety, to be honest with you, as well. It's one thing working around children at home and having to work at night because you're with a baby at home, and it's a whole other different kettle of fish when you've got not only like the guilt of, you know, the mum guilt of, you know, am I really being the best mother I can if I'm working so much, but also the boss guilt where you have a boss like almost pulling you between the child and the career, or, you know, the job. Yeah, so for me, the gratitude I have for being a virtual assistant and starting this business, and having this business support me and my family as the primary earner of the family, has just been phenomenal. And I just feel so happy and thankful and grateful that I didn't sell out, and that I didn't think, oh, well, I'm pregnant now, so I'll go home because I need the support. I'll go home because I need, you know, any of these things. The father did decide that he wanted to be a part of, you know, the child's life and everything. So that was also, you know, a positive note from all that. But in the end, I was prepared to go it alone. And I think had it been either way, I still would have gone the same route and the same path, whether I was a single mother or whether I had a partner. So definitely being home, being able to stay at home with the kids. And it's not just with the kids. I mean, I know a lot of people who have elderly relatives who don't want to leave them on their own. I know a lot of people actually who have animals and pets, and they don't want to leave them on their own at home. So there can be multiple reasons for wanting to be at home. Maybe you're just super introverted like me and you just like being at home. I'm one of those people. But either way, the fact that you get to choose is incredible. So this is today's why. It's staying at home. You get to stay at home. You not only get to travel and live wherever you want, but you also get to stay at home if that's your choice. And for me, that's been one of the biggest game changers in my life, just to be home with my kids, because you never get that time back. Like once your kids are grown up and on their way, and you know you've missed all those years, you can't get that back, you know. And I'm so thankful that I've seen all my kids take their first steps, and I've seen all my kids, you know, say their first words and things like that. It's just priceless. That's really priceless. So whether you're a work at home mum or whether you go out to work, you know, the whole virtual assistant thing can really make a very valuable contribution to your life, even if it just allows you to be home with the kids just a little bit more. It's something, you know. Okay, so we're going to head into daily accountability. I just want to say we had a conversation at the beginning of this call, which was not in the recording, but just wanted to say, Martha, hope everything is okay with you, sending you lots of love and good vibes, as I am always to everybody who's here inside virtual co-working space and beyond. And try to focus on the positives and the good things about that person and that life. That's all I can say. You got to hold on to those things. Okay, and now, apart from my pen, here's my pen. We are going to go into our daily accountability, which is non-negotiable. Lots of love to everybody here on this start of the week, and we will do our accountability now. We'll be back here again tomorrow for another big VAY, which is another big step along my journey. Okay, so take care, guys, and I shall see you back here tomorrow. Before we begin, don't forget you can join me live online inside Virtual Co-working Space at www.virtualmissfriday.com/VCS. If you enjoy this session, give it a like. I'd love to hear from you, so write me a comment. And so you don't miss any updates, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin.
So now we're going to look for the positive with our gratitude. First, we'll spend 1 minute thinking of the day before, thinking of all the things that happened, reflecting on work, interactions, relationships, memorable moments, and more. Now you'll write one thing down minimum that you're grateful for. You can, of course, write down more. Something good, something that went right, a small moment or a big win. The more you search for things to be grateful for, the more you will experience things to be grateful for. Now we're going to read out your goal. Make sure your goal is written down in a journal or somewhere you can easily access it. Read your goal now, ideally out loud, and commit to this goal. Believe it will happen. And by reading this daily, the universe knows clearly what your goal is, and the things begin to shift in the direction of your goal. Follow your instincts when this happens by taking action. Now you need to see your goal in visualization. Spend this minute thinking about the goal in your mind. See yourself taking steps towards the goal, or even better still, see yourself having already achieved the goal. Close your eyes and go there. Step into the feeling, step into the place, step into the accomplishment. And finally, it's time for your most important task. Set this task for today and make it relating to your goal. This could be something small like sending an email, recording a video, or making a phone call, or it could be bigger. Either way, one task a day is one step forward, and those steps will add up. Do what you can from where you are now. Set the intention, and the action will carry you towards your goal. Well done you for completing your daily co-create session. Have a fantastic day ahead, and I'll see you next time.